From the Target 12 investigators, the Providence City Council is taking another go at trying to pass a so-called 8-law ordinance. The highly controversial law gives developers a tax break for creating affordable housing. As we've reported, Mayor Brett Smiley vetoed the council's first try at trying to revamp the ordinance. Target 12 investigator Alexandra Leslie joins us now live in studio to break it all down. And Alex, council leadership had initially said that they were going to override the mayor's veto, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, so to me, this signals that the leadership, that council leadership didn't have the 10 votes needed to override that veto, which would be telling since the ordinance originally passed in a 13-2 vote. So here's the background. Mayor Smiley argues the council's ordinance was poorly crafted and would add $549,000 to the city budget. Now, Smiley is separately trying to make changes to this law at the state level and says that would solve its flaws. The council wants to do its own version of reform. I spoke with the mayor about this earlier this week and asked him what changed after his veto.
The nonprofit housing developers came forward and said, we have real concerns about this. And when certain members of the city council realized that it wasn't just my objections, but the objection of nonprofit community development corporations, they realized, oh, maybe we should have done a little bit more public vetting.
Okay, so this new ordinance, councilors made the unusual move to suspend city rules and introduce it off docket last night. We don't see that a lot.
Yeah, that's right. It means that things are pretty fluid right now. So now the newly amended ordinance will go back to the Finance Committee for another time. But I'm expecting more public involvement this time around. So in the original vote, some councilors took issue with the lack of public hearings to discuss this ordinance. And Mayor Smiley also told me that he took issue with that. He's also concerned that the council may be overreaching on this one.
And there's some legal uncertainty about whether this can be done at the city level at all. And if this just happens in city ordinance, there's a real risk we'll get sued. The solution to that is changing state legislation.
So I want to note here that Smiley says he is still reviewing the council's ordinance right now. It's unclear who on the council right now is also supporting it, and the next hearing date has not yet been set on this.
A lot of intricacies and updates on this issue. Target 12 investigator Alexandra Leslie, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.